moment I'm the National Ambassador for Alzheimer's Australia, and I've been previously the National President, and my father had vascular dementia, so I'm very familiar with the dementia journey. And there, research offers us the wonderful hope that one day we might actually live in a world without dementia, and that would be wonderful. Well, it came as a shock when my father was diagnosed with vascular dementia. Just out of the blue one morning, he rang up and said, "I can't find my pajamas." And I said, "Where are you, Dad?" And he said, "I'm in Burke," as if I was an idiot for asking. And of course, he wasn't in Burke. He was in his own home, in his pajamas. And both my brother and I, he rang one of my brothers, we went up there at once and we knew there was something wrong. And then the diagnosis came. And we managed to keep Dad in his own home. He died just 10 days shy of being 90, but it was difficult for him because he knew something was wrong. And sometimes I'd go up to, I was his principal carer, and I'd go to see him sometimes. I'd say, "Dad, how are you today?" Well, he'd say, "If you must know, I'm feeling depressed." And it's awful because, this is your father and you love him, and I couldn't do anything to relieve him of that depression. But there were funny moments, we had funny moments with Dad because there are funny moments on the dementia journey. Occasionally I'd come up and he'd say, "Oh, there's people across the road. They were so noisy." So I went out and I told them, and you think, "Oh God, I hope he didn't." And another time we went over to have afternoon tea with him on Christmas Eve, and he was wearing a red jumper. It was a very hot Christmas Eve, and there was a fire in the fireplace burning away, and I said, "Dad, what's with the fire?" And he said, "I'm cold." Right, so we had a very hot afternoon tea in front of Dad's fire. And they're funny when you look back, but if you didn't sometimes find something to laugh about, you'd cry for most of the dementia journey. And that's why you've got to look at it in its entirety and realise that these funny moments are those funny moments that get you through. Well, the numbers have been progressing very steadily and they will continue to do so. Currently in Australia, 1,800 new cases are diagnosed every week. That's one person every 6 minutes. And by 2050, we'll have almost 1 million Australians with dementia of one kind. There are more than 100 forms of dementia. Alzheimer's disease is the most common. 50 to 70% of all cases are Alzheimer's disease. And we've known for a long time that this is happening. We're not the only country in the world that's experiencing the dementia epidemic. And we're one of the countries that is leading the fight against it as well. But it presents huge problems to us as a community. How would we wish to be treated if we had dementia? So one of Alzheimer's Australia's goals is to make Australia a dementia-friendly country, and we want to see the establishment of dementia-friendly communities so that a person with dementia still feels a valued member of the community in which he or she lives. People often assume wrongly that a person with dementia can't do anything, doesn't remember anything. Well, it's not like that. Everybody's dementia journey is different. And some people only have quite mild symptoms, and they may not be able to do the job they once did, but they can still do a job. They can still sing in a choir, they can participate in walking groups, they can paint, they can still play a musical instrument. And it's very important that they do these things because it's good for their brain for them to still be socially active in the community.